Russia does not watch Himars the way Western audiences do. It does not see a capability demonstration or a strategic partnership drill. It sees one thing: rehearsal. And it does not matter where the launcher is fired. Whether the rocket leaves a truck in Europe, the Middle East, or Australia, Russia reads the footage the same way, as practice for a war that already has its opening chapters written in Ukraine. Himars is not a defensive system in Russia's eyes. It is a weapon designed to reshape battlefronts, to erase positions, to remove command posts and ammunition depots with mathematical precision. So the moment a Western ally fires one, even for training, Moscow does not log it as routine. It logs it as a signal that the West is still preparing, still refining, still expecting this system to be used again in future operations involving Russia, not in theory, but in reality. This is why drills like this matter more politically than militarily. They are messages disguised as practice. They are reminders that the war is not treated as temporary, but as a long-term condition that the West is preparing to sustain and to escalate if needed. Himars did not enter the Ukraine war as decoration. It entered as a turning lever. It changed what Russia could safely store, where it could move, and how long it could hold a position without being struck from distances previously out of reach. The system did not just destroy equipment, it rewrote the tempo of the war. It forced Russia to disperse depots, to move command nodes deeper, to relocate artillery out of what used to be safe zones. That is why drills like this cannot be read as neutral. Every time a Himars battery fires in peacetime, it reminds Moscow that the weapon that disrupted its logistics is not only still in circulation, it is still being refined, rehearsed, and normalized. There is no such thing as Himars training without consequences once the weapon has already altered a live war. The shadow of Ukraine attaches itself to every launch, even thousands of kilometers away. This is also why Russia cannot afford to treat any Himars footage as noise, because the last time this weapon appeared just in headlines, within months it was dismantling Russian rear lines with unprecedented efficiency. For Moscow, a Himars rehearsal today is simply a preview of tomorrow's strike. The fact that Himars is being drilled in Australia, a continent untouched by the war, is itself proof that this conflict is not regional. A weapon that changed the course of a war in Eastern Europe is being rehearsed on the other side of the planet because the West does not see Ukraine as an isolated theater. It sees it as one front of a wider confrontation that can be supplied, fed, and reinforced from any friendly soil on Earth. War used to be bound by geography. Not anymore. Production in one country, training in another, deployment in a third, impact in a fourth. Himars is the perfect example of how the West fights now. The front line exists in Ukraine, but the preparation is distributed globally. That is why Australia matters, even though Russia will never fight Australia directly. Australia is part of the pipeline, part of the muscle memory that keeps the system alive, warm, and ready. For Russia, that is the real threat, not the battery you see on screen, but the network behind it. You cannot bomb a network, you cannot intimidate a global training chain, and you cannot exhaust a coalition that rehearses on multiple continents while you fight on one. If the West believed this war was winding down, Himars training would not be scaling, it would be tapering. You do not refine a weapon system when you expect to stop using it. You refine it when you expect to need it again, and when you want to be faster, cleaner, and more effective the next time it is called into action. The language used in press releases, readiness, partnership, and interoperability is cosmetic. Readiness for what? Partnership for what? Interoperability for what? These drills are not designed to stabilize Ukraine after peace. They are designed to stabilize Ukraine while war continues. Western militaries do not rehearse for yesterday. They rehearse for what they believe tomorrow will require. This is why Himars firing in Australia matters even if no one is shooting back. It shows that the West is not betting on diplomacy, exhaustion, or settlement. It is betting on continuity, on a long war managed, supplied, and sustained rather than ended. You do not train to finish a war quickly. You train to survive a war that you expect to continue. So the question is not whether this was just a drill. The real question is, who rehearses a weapon like this unless they expect to need it again? If the war were truly slowing, Himars would not still be echoing on continents that aren't part of the battlefield. And if Australia, thousands of kilometers away from the front, is now part of the rehearsal chain, then what does that say about how long this war is expected to last, and how many countries will keep feeding it without ever firing a shot themselves? If this is what practice looks like, what will the next real use look like? And where will it happen?